Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 168 of Crunch Time. I'm going to be your host for today's episode. I am Tanner Dislin, and as always, I am joined by Sam Godsey, and we are the N326 duo. Sam, how are we doing today?
Man, I'm a little conflicted, Tanner. The With the Thunder and Nuggets game tipping off last night. Russ, one of my all-time favorite players, against my favorite team. It's a little conflicting, but it was a fun one to watch, regardless.
It was a fun game yesterday. The NBA games were absolutely phenomenal. We will get into that, of course, later in the episode, provide kind of a total NBA playoff update since we last hopped on. But of course, before we get to all of that, we will start with winners and losers. So, Sam, hit me with your winner.
Yeah, my winner has to be Caitlin Clark and her effect on the WNBA. The Fever took on Brazil's national team this past weekend at Carver Hawkeye. Caitlin Clark made her return home, and damn near everyone tuned in, Tanner. The statistics on the viewership, it drew in 1.3 million viewers, which is more watched than any NBA preseason game since 2018, all but two NBA preseason games since 2010. And to be honest, Tanner, I'm not all that impressed with comparing preseason basketball numbers because, let's be frank, how many people really watch them? But the one that really caught my eye, Tanner, is Caitlin Clark's preseason game, which they won like 108-48, had more viewers than game one of the 2024.
See that one's tough.
Yeah.
That one is tough. I mean, absolute. It's so cool to see. Obviously, no city loves anyone as much as Iowa City loves Caitlin Clark. And it was pretty awesome to see. And you see the reaction from a lot of the Fever teammates. Like there was a Kelsey Mitchell, is that her name? Who played at Ohio State, was usually on the wrong end of all those fans, and was like this, like she made a shot and she went in and like the stadium reached like 116 decibels. Which obviously someone who went to Ohio State isn't a big fan. Iowa fans aren't the biggest fan, but it didn't matter because they were all in the Fever and they were just loving everything the Fever had. So it was pretty awesome. Aaliyah Boston talking about it. Obviously, Caitlin Clark in Iowa ended Aaliyah Boston's college career at South Carolina. So could be some bad blood there, but she was loving all the attention.
Oh, yeah.
It was just
even
awesome.
Brazil, as they were getting their asses kicked.
Yep.
After the game, and Caitlin Clark played 19 minutes, 16 points. I mean, her stat line was insane. But even Brazil's players were like going up to her, asking her for an autograph post game. There was a clip that surfaced where Caitlin Clark, like during a free throw, asked, "Is this the coach? Is this the biggest crowd you've ever played?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, by far." Which, that is the Caitlin Clark effect. Everywhere she goes, seats are filled. There's not an open seat in the arena, and that's why we're seeing so many WNBA teams switching to bigger facilities, bigger arenas this upcoming season when the Fever come to town.
But I will say that I watched the WNBA for Angel Reese, so
it's true.
None of this matters to me.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, it's incredible stuff. She's absolutely electric and must see TV for sure. So shout out Iowa City, shout out the Fever and the WNBA for just allowing this to happen. Like I feel like you never see like I don't know, like Joe Burrow play a preseason game at down in Death Valley.
Yeah,
but like it's just cool. It's just cool. Really cool stuff. But Sam, for my winner, we have to talk about quite possibly the best the best athlete specifically in one part of his game, of his sport. And that is Aaron Judge at hitting, because Aaron Judge is the best hitter on planet Earth. Yes, he's a better hitter than Shohei Ohtani. And it is insane what he is doing. So to start the 2025 season, Sam, his slash line, Aaron Judge's slash line, he's hitting 423, slugging 510, or excuse me, 510 on base and slugging 777. That is good enough for a 1287 OPS. That is really good, in case you are wondering out there. In the history of baseball, the highest batting averages through 34 games since division play began in 1969. Aaron Judge in 2025 is fifth all time, and the first one since the first one I will say since 2023 when Luis Ariz did it through 34 games. But Luis Ariz had one home run in that stretch. He's just a flat out slap hitter. The other people above, Paul O'Neill did it in 1994 with the Yankees, Rod Carew in 1983 with the Angels, Luis Ariz in 2023 with the Marlins, Barry Bonds in 1993 with the Giants. All of those had batting averages above Aaron Judge's, but their home runs were 9, 2, 1, and 8. Judge's is 11. He hits for power. He drives in runs. He hits for average. He does it all. Just to put more more names to this, his 1.287 OPS. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth highest in MLB history. I guess since 1969 when divisional games started. That is the sixth highest, and that is he's the 1, 2, 3. He's the fourth person, because Bonds did it 3 times above him. So really, he's the fourth person who's done it at that 1.287 OPS. He has a 270 WRC plus, which stands for weighted runs created plus. That is a standardized statistic. The MLB average is 100. He is 170% better than the average.
Yeah, dude. He's absolutely unreal when it comes to batter's box. This has kind of been the story of the MLB. It seems like we all remember the tune-ins during his home run streaks there. I can't even remember what it was during football season.
He was going for the American League record, which of course was not. Barry Bonds did that like 3 times.
Yeah. But
he's in the National League, so I guess they're separate. So
yeah, but yeah, dude, he's absolutely hitting nukes, and it's impressive to watch, no doubt.
Yeah, he's absurd. This is coming off of a 58 home run campaign a year ago, and in 2022, the year where we cut in, he hit 62, and that is when we had the cut-ins again. Obviously, should they have cut in for like some guy who had the 7th most home runs all time? I don't know, but this is going to be a pro Aaron Judge segment because he's just too good. Obviously, I have no love for the New York Yankees, but he's too good to not talk about. Yeah. And if they didn't have Devin Williams, their relief pitcher, who was the loser a week ago, they would have one of the best records in baseball. He blew another game for them last night. Well, technically, he had a couple runners on that were his responsibility, and the guy they brought in after him let up a few runs that were his responsibility. So they're charged to him. So he ended up getting the loss. But yeah, he's incredible. He's too good. And the whole thing with Soto last year, obviously, a lot of people thought, oh, it's like a symbiotic relationship. Soto's getting pitches to hit because they don't want to face Judge. Judge getting pitches to hit because Soto's in the lineup and all. Like, Soto gone, doesn't matter. Judge is still that guy. It literally does not matter. He is the best hitter in baseball. He's one of the best hitters I've ever seen. And I mean, Bonds would be the only other one. And I think the only thing Bonds has over Judge right now is that longevity. Judge came up at an older age, so he's if he continued to do it through his high 30s, maybe even the 40s, now we're having that conversation. But at his peak right now, Aaron Judge is probably the best hitter I've ever seen. And the numbers back it up. He's absolutely absurd. And yeah, Aaron Judge will continue to break records and have a record, be on pace to break records for sure if he continues this.
Yeah, dude. That's impressive.
No doubt about it. But Sam, of course, now we got to look at some people who may or may not have had as good of a week as Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, and Aaron Judge. So hit me with your loser.
Yeah, my loser of the episode is gonna be the Michigan Wolverines football team. They recently announced that their head football coach, Sharon Moore, is expected to be suspended for 2 games for the upcoming 2025 season. Now, when this story first released, it seemed the NCAA, this was part of the NCAA suspensions. Now it's self-imposed by Michigan. A lot of people are assuming it's kind of to lessen the blow of the Connor Stallions advanced scouting scandal, as ESPN calls it. But the other thing is, it's not right off the bat. Moore gets to coach week 1, week 2, which is against New Mexico and his alma mater, Oklahoma Sooners. So they're going down. So he'll be able to coach that, but he won't be able to coach against Central Michigan and Nebraska. This whole things seems very fishy, and it's kind of pathetic on Michigan's side of things.
Yeah, I mean, people who are innocent definitely self-impose
Yeah, for
suspensions.
sure.
People who are innocent definitely do that. Now, this is his second suspension for this. When Harbaugh was suspended in, what was it, 2023?
Yeah.
Or I guess was it? Yeah, well, yeah, when Harbaugh was suspended in 2023 for this stuff, Sharon Moore was suspended as well. So now this is second suspension, and I mean, obviously we know it didn't come from the NCAA, but it's just going to be really troubling if people can just decide their own suspensions. If Michigan just be like, we'll just do for 2 games, and then the NCAA will be like, sounds good to us, and then we just move on with our lives. I really hope the NCAA doesn't do that. I mean, who knows what's going on, but the fact is, again, I'll say it again, guilty people don't self-impose. Now a second suspension.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, and the continuing the way that Michigan will atone for their crimes and the Connor Stallion scandal will be just Sharon Moore, pick the 2 easiest games on your schedule and we'll just suspend you for those.
Yeah.
So brutal, absolutely brutal. And Michigan, yeah, super sketchy. Of course, they won a national championship with it. Like, of course they did.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't have just been, water under the bridge as they lost to Washington, which everyone in the world would have preferred. But no, the cheaters won because cheaters always win. Ask the Astros, ask Michigan. And hopefully, at least what happened with the Astros, maybe this time there'll be some actual repercussions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really, really boils my blood, as you can tell. But for my loser, Sam, this one, again, it's not different type of loser, one that's just unfortunate circumstances and not someone who, made a bad decision or anything, but it is Triston Cosas, the promising first baseman for the Boston Red Sox, an up-and-coming team that is, traded for Crochet, who's had a Cy Young caliber season to start his career with Boston. A team that's fighting in the NL or the AL East, The Yankees, with Devin Williams, haven't had the best start. I believe the Red Sox are a game and a half out, and they're starting first baseman, a key piece for them, Sam. He ruptured his patellar tendon in his knee and is out for the season. That's tough. Now, the thing about Casas is he hasn't been red hot to start the year, but it's just a piece that the team needs. It would be the same as the Thunder losing Alex Caruso, or the Knicks maybe OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges. It's a key. It's not Brunson, it's not Shea, but it's a key piece to this team that they needed going forward in this season-long race against the Yankees to win the AL East. So it's really unfortunate. Now, I don't know. There's a lot of pivots they can do. There's not a lot of first base options on their team. They could try and move Rafael Devers, who was their third baseman a year ago. Now that they got Alex Bregman, he's been DHing a little bit more. Maybe he moves to first. I don't know. There's a lot of things they can do, but it's a really tough spot, and maybe they look elsewhere to fill that void. But it's a tough loss for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see injuries in any form. Seeing a guy like this, not to the greatest start, but definitely a valuable piece to the Red Sox going down this early in the season. All sucks.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So we'll see. We'll see how they pivot. And it's just one of those, it's too early to basically just chalk up the season. You went too far in. Bregman was not getting any younger. Crochet, you just mentioned, just off to a hot start. So it kind of feels like the time is now to strike, and this sucks. So we'll see. We'll see how they fix it. But unfortunate circumstances over in Boston, not only on the baseball field, Sam. Should we talk some ball?
Let's do it.
All right. So we should do some housekeeping on the first round. The first round is now completely over. I can't remember exactly where the game stood last time we podcasted, but in the East, what the one seed was is the what are the Cavs?
Yeah.
I don't remember if that series was over. They took care of business. 2 seed.
Yeah, so we were the Cavs versus Heat had wrapped up. The Thunder Grizzlies. So we were going into game 5 of Nuggets versus Clippers the night of recording. Golden State was up 3-1. Lakers, T-Wolves, Minnesota for 3-1. So we were around game 5, Knicks, Pistons, game 5. Boston Magic 3-1 is kind of where we were at. So around game 5 is where we were at, but I think we can kind of skip around and just talk about the series as a whole or game 7, whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll go. So okay, we'll start in the East. 1 seed, 2 seed took care of business.
Yep.
The 3 seed is the Knicks. They lost that game that we were talking about when we were podcast, but they ended up closing it out in Detroit. Definitely a weird series. The Knicks lost 2 or 3 at home. Probably should have lost all 3 at home. And then the 4-5 in the East was that was NBA TV. That was Pacers Bucks. Pacers took care of business there. Out West, I feel like this is where the money's made. We had 2 game 7s out West. I mean, the Thunder took care of business as that 1 seed. The 2 seed is that was the game 7 because that was the Rockets. Warriors. You said it was 3-1 at the time we last podcasted. Rockets won 2 games to force a game 7 at home.
Yeah.
The boogeyman takes him down once again.
Yeah. I mean, you knew this was coming, man. I mean, but to be honest, Tanner, the story with the series was like, oh my God, how good Steph Curry is. And while he did play well, this game, played 46 minutes, 22, finished with 22. That's pretty good. But the guy I want to highlight here is Buddy Hield. Just went crazy. We saw a prime Buddy Hield, like back in his college days, dropped 33, shooting 12 for 15 from the field, 9 for 11. Hasn't really stepped up in this series, but when the Warriors kind of need that third option to go with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, Buddy Hield stepped up in a huge way and is a huge reason why the Warriors took care of business in game 7.
Yeah, I mean, the key there is 9 for 11 from 3. That's what Buddy Hield is at this stage in his career. He's a catch and shoot guy, and those are valuable when they're hitting their shots and step up in big time moments. Yeah, I mean, he had 33 and they won by 14. So, you do the math there. Buddy Hield was the most important player for the Warriors. And yeah, just painful if you're the Rockets. I mean, a great season, a lot to build on. Definitely seems like it's that 1 year too early type team. But they should be good next year, and they should be in the market to get another star. Obviously, I think some will be available. So we'll see how that offseason plays out. But an awesome year for the Rockets, unfortunate end, no doubt. about that. The 3 seed in the West is ooh, oh
The
boy.
Nuggets Clippers.
Oh, that was the Nuggets Clippers, another awesome series. Went to game 7. Or the Nuggets Clippers was 4-5. 3.
Mm.
Who was the 3 in the West?
Oh, 3 and 6 were the Lakers.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Lakers go out sad.
Yeah.
They went out
I
sad,
mean,
man.
they let Rudy Gobert cook their asses, and that's never a good sign.
Yeah, dude, it's everyone's favorite game. How many minutes did the Lakers starting center play today? Do they just don't have any
But
size?
you have to mention that LeBron was not going to play if
Is
the series was
that
extended.
that
So,
is that is the most perfect, the most
dude,
the single most perfect, uh, single most perfect news to break to sum
dude,
up LeBron.
it really is.
It was too perfect.
And I think he did the same thing last year with his hand. It was a hand injury he mentioned that he was playing with. So, same New Year, same LeBron making excuses left and right, and
All right, now hear me out here. Talk to JJ Redick. Did you happen to hear his comments, or
I did not.
mainly comment?
I didn't.
He did a bunch of coach speak about what went wrong. Yada yada yada. He said we have to make it a point to get into basketball shape. I wonder who he's talking about.
Sure. Another scapegoat for LeBron. We've seen this story how many damn times.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I guess.
Luka Doncic played his ass off. He fought through illness this postseason, but like at the end of the day, you got your ass kicked every damn game. You had no answer for Ant. You had no answer for the Timberwolves. I mean, yeah, sure. Luca might be out of shape, but at the end of the day, you were simply outmatched at damn near every well, not every position, but damn near outmatched in every which way. So
Yeah,
maybe instead of calling someone fat, Coach Bear build a better team. That's just my opinion on it.
that's fair. That's fair. I definitely can see the scapegoat for LeBron. The advanced analytics back up JJ Redick's statements. Uh, Luka Doncic on nearly 90% of his drives, he got blown by and was an absolute liability on the defensive end.
But who isn't? What NBA player isn't a liability on?
Yeah.
We can cherry pick these stats, but I would assume majority of star players aren't playing the toughest defense, but that's just my opinion. But that would be something to look at for sure.
Sure. Okay. I can see what you're saying, but yeah, that's totally fair. It's just interesting that like Nico Harrison traded him because he didn't like his work ethic, and then his next coach is saying we need to get in basketball shape. It's seeming to be again what I'm putting this in very plain text. I would do a lot of things to have Luka Doncic be a New York Knick. I would love for him to be on my favorite team. It's just interesting that that's a quote unquote problem in 2 places he's gone now. But then again, it seems like everyone involved will jump through hoops to avoid blame on LeBron, who again wasn't going to play if there was a game 7 because he's an absolute warrior who was playing through injury.
Game 5, LeBron 9 for 21, 22
really
points.
That
boy Lucas 7 for 18, 28 points. I mean, we can make all the excuses, put the blame on Luca, but at the end of the day, they got their
asses kicked because the team was poorly constructed. You can have all the star power in the world if you do not have any size against quite literally the NBA team with some of the most size, Sam, and the most talent at that size. Would be the Minnesota Timberwolves, and you got absolutely dominated inside because you had no answer. So yeah, it was pretty fun to see. It was pretty fun to see the Lakers go outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And then last thing I want to talk about is did you see LeBron's quote postseason? Um, Someone asked what it was like to play without a center. And he said, no comment. My guy AD said what he needed, and then he was gone the following week.
Oh boy.
Another excuse for Mr. James. And let's not act like you don't have the nickname Le GM, because we all know you have a say in every movement, every team you've been on has been
Yeah.
made.
Yeah.
So
If you came to me and you told me that Pelinka traded for Doncic and LeBron had no idea, that would I would punch you in the face.
yeah,
That's how much it's just not true. There's
yeah.
no way. He co-signs everything as you said. And it's so much dysfunction. Everyone gets blame. Mid-season trades. I mean, has any franchise had more mid-season trades than the Lakers? It feels like in the last like 5 years.
Yeah, they're up there for
I mean,
sure.
it's just every year it's LeBron being like, "Oh, I don't like this. Let's trade this. Oh, I don't like this. Let's trade this. I don't like this. Trade this."
Yeah.
And then there's just no flow. There's no rhythm. And then they trade for a superstar. They don't have any size.
And
It's a poorly constructed team.
the guys they get are always ball dominant. Like they couple of years ago, they had Russ,
Hmm.
probably the most ball dominant player in the NBA
I mean,
at the time.
I don't think I saw one single person who's like, "Yo, this is a good move. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna work." Everyone's like, "What?"
Needs the ball in his hand to be as effective. LeBron, dude, I will say if there were two balls, I think on the court, but it's same story every year with LeBron, especially since not every year, but since he's been in the West, it seems it's a reoccurring theme every offseason.
LeBron, an East merchant.
Some are saying.
Some are saying, and yes, that's us. We are saying. We are saying. But yeah, they just went outside. And it was really fun to see. And again, it's just I don't think there could be two more different. I think the Timberwolves are so likable. They have young like Ant is so fun to watch. Maybe you don't like Rudy Gobert. That's fine. I wouldn't say I like Rudy Gobert all that much,
Yeah.
but obviously I'm rooting for Julius Randle and DiVincenzo personally as a Knicks fan. Like they were so good for us. Like Ant is just so fun. Timberwolves are a franchise that, damn it, do they deserve some success? And then the Lakers were just the exact opposite. It was so fun to see. So fun to see. And then the 4-5, the one that was the headliner for all of this. And Sam could not be happier because playoff Harden
Game 7
is back, baby.
James Harden was in full effect here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 for 8, 1 for 4, minus 29, and 7 points.
This is your time to shine, buddy. This is your time to shine.
I absolutely love it. This has been the story since James Harden kind of left OKC, if we're being honest. I was
going to say, he just wasn't. It might have even been the case in OKC. It's just he wasn't as big part of a team as to notice as it was with the Rockets now.
It's time to start the conversation. Is he the worst Game 7 player of all time? Like, dude, it's bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, in elimination games, I think I saw something. He's averaging 14 points, which is I think of his career average, it might be 15 points, or it's over 10 points lower than his career average. And that's including, I think, Game 6, which he played very well for the Clippers. That was and that wasn't a Game 7. It was an elimination game. He did play well, but the track record is so bad. Doesn't matter. The 76ers, the Nets. And this is the one because, with the Nets, it was it was battling the injury. Okay, fine, whatever. With the 76ers, okay, fine, whatever. This one was bad, man. And
I hated this.
It's something,
so sad.
Dude. He scored over 10 points in oh, I can't remember the exact stat, which is unfortunate because I don't want to misquote it and discredit it, but um, it it's really bad in his game sevens. And I just think of that. Do you remember that one TV analyst talking about Daryl Morey
Yes.
and how like you said you wanted to go on vacation between games, he let you. You wanted a
Mm-hmm.
new you want a new team, he let you. You want to be traded, he let you. He did everything for you. And
Yeah.
yet you still are you still complain, you still deflect. James Harden, man, is an all-time softy loser, and it is just so fun. I'm never gonna have that as much hate. I don't have that personal connection
Yeah.
like you do. But man, is it fun to watch him fail
Oh
because
yeah.
it is he's an absolute nothing burger, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, just to put some stats behind this conversation. Um, he played in 6 game 7s before 2025. He was averaging 21 points, but he shot 36% from the floor, 22% from 3 point line, averaging 4 turnovers a game. So here's a brief history of his latest endeavors. So in 23, as a member of the 76ers, finished a game 7 loss to the Boston Celtics, 9.7 assists, 6 rebounds, 5 turnovers on 3 for 11 shooting. 24 with the Clippers, 16 points, 13 assists, 7 rebounds. Not the worst, but 5 of 16 in a game 6 loss of their first round series. 21, you mentioned, 5 for 17, 2 for 12 from three. Um, Still scored 20 points, 22 points. 2015 with the Rockets, probably one of his worst performances. Took a game 5 loss to the Golden State Warriors, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 12 turnovers on 2 of 11 from the floor. And then in 2017, game 6 loss to the Spurs, 10.7 assists, 6 turnovers on 2 for 11. 2 for 11 shooting. So not great, man. Yeah, he fills the stat sheet by a very inefficient rate, and it seems to not help the teams a whole lot.
Yeah, correct. And it's so funny to me because he's just a normal employee. You know how the normal employee is just like, all right, I'm gonna get in at 9, I'm gonna clock out at 5, I'm gonna play the regular season, and then I'm done. And then it's over. And the tweet that I thought described it perfectly. Some guy tweeted. He said, "James Harden will get you to the playoffs. The rest is your business."
Yeah, honestly, that's perfectly summed up.
Yeah,
That's James Harden's career, I swear. And
yeah, and then just hopping from team to team because of course he does. Because guess what? GMs get fed up with that kind of crap. So then, but the fact of the matter is, Sam. Obviously, we can pile on James Harden all we want, and we want. But the Clippers just got absolutely dominated.
oh yeah, oh yeah, it was never a close game. It seemed like in this one, the Nuggets could do no wrong. Aaron Gordon actually was the leading scorer for this team, 22 points. Jokic, I mean, believe it, 10 rebounds, a assist, 16 points. So not really one of his best games, but we saw Christian Brown step up 21 points. All starters were in double figures. And of course, I got to shout out my guy, Russell Westbrook, 16 points off the bench, had one of the greatest techs of all time. But yeah, dude, this Nuggets team, even when Jokic isn't having his 85-point game with 48 rebounds, they still get done and in dominating fashion, especially in this one.
So now, question for you: how how do we look at this Clippers core? Because obviously now they don't have Paul George anymore, and obviously having Paul George may have made the team worse because it would have been that much more cap for what was it, his
Yeah.
awful performance this year. Um, but it seems to me like they're just going to become another Nets, where they're the second team in their city, so no one cares. The fact that they assembled what should have been a super team and they absolutely blew it at every single step
Yeah.
of the way, and like injuries, yeah, whatever. You can't trade for Kawhi Leonard and just be like, he got injured. How the heck did this happen? Like these you were
Yeah.
injury prone guys. They came to your team and it was an absolute failure. And no one seems to talk about it because they're not the Lakers. They're similar to the Nets, man. No one talks about it because they're not the Knicks and no one cares. But an absolute disaster. And it's not talked about enough how big of a disaster that was because they
Yeah.
should, when they made those trades for Kawhi or signed Kawhi, traded for Paul George, it was like, yo, the Clippers are here. And they are absolutely not here. When's the last time they won a playoff series?
Yeah. It's been a while.
I mean, they would run into the Mavericks, they'd run into Luka and the Mavericks, they'd run into the
Warriors.
Nuggets, the Warriors. They just lose everywhere.
And I'm sure it doesn't help that to get Paul George, they trade away Shea Gilgis, who's
Is he
he's he will probably win MVP this year if I had to guess. Yeah, and how many draft picks that are now in the second round, the conference semifinals for the Thunder. It's yeah, that trade is gonna go down. I think it already has gone down as one of the worst NBA trades in history. But yeah, dude, can you imagine if this was like happened on the Lakers, the Warriors, like those things? Like, can you imagine what the media press would be? I
exactly?
feel like it just kind of gets swept
It's
under
the
the rug.
Nets, man. They just give them a free pass because they aren't as big as the other team, which
Yeah,
is I don't know. It kind of bothers me a little bit. Obviously, our good friend, former co-host of the show, Keegan, is a Clippers fan, so I do feel for him. But Sam, the last playoff series they won was in 2021. It was the 2021 season. 21-22, they didn't make the playoffs. They lost in the play-in. 22-23, they lost in the first round of the Suns. 23-24, they lost in the first round of the Mavericks. 24-25, they lost in the first round of the Nuggets.
that's brutal.
They haven't won in 4 years now, man.
And it's not like they don't have guys. In fact, they have all like yeah, it's it's
Yeah, and no one seems to care because and it's puzzling why they don't get more backlash. But yeah, an absolute disaster in over in I guess Inglewood now. Is that where their new stadium
yeah,
is
I
in
believe
Inglewood?
so.
So the one thing is that they are in good hands. They have an owner who really cares and wants to put together a basketball team that is competitive. Obviously, has all the resources in the world. I think he's the richest owner in American professional sports.
Yeah.
Um, so he's got all the capital in the world. He wants to put a good product out there. It's just yeah, this core. I mean, it's a losing core. It's an injury prone core. And the minute you turn to James Harden to be like, this is going to be the piece to lead us to a playoff run, you know you're cooked. You know you're
Yeah.
cooked. So
Yeah. It's can't say I don't love it though, for sure.
no doubt about it. I will say, I don't love it as much as my all time, James Harden hate watch. I mean, him on the 76ers was so fun to watch him up down.
Yeah.
Harden melting down, 76ers melting down. So much fun. But with that, Sam, we shall move on to the second round
Let's
because
do it.
Mic down.
We're chilling. We're
Mic down.
chilling.
I repeat, mic down. Good hands though.
Yeah.
Good hands though from Gotsy.
All right, we're back.
We're back. We're back. So 3 of the series have played a game. And Sam, home teams are 0-3 in
Yeah.
the second round. We'll start in Cleveland. Pacers and Cavaliers. And as the case with many of these series, all 3 of them to be exact, the Pacers steal game 1 on the road.
Yeah, this was kind of a shocking one. Obviously the other three series are get everyone kind of expected them to be more competitive.
Yeah, like I don't know if they would have expected the road team to win, but in the
Yeah,
other two, the road team I think is better than the Pacers,
yeah,
and this one was shocking.
yeah. This one was for sure shocking. But I mean, what did the? I think the Cavs shot like yeah, shot 23% from field, from three, not the field. Um, when your team is has a bunch of 3-point shooters, Donovan Mitchell struggled, especially from 3-point line when your best players shoots 1 for 11 from three. It's never a recipe for success. So that was kind of my takeaway. And Andrew Nimhard, Tyrese Halliburton just went crazy this game, 22 and 23 respectively. But I was shocked by this, but I think it's more of how poorly the Cavs shot rather than how good the Pacers played personally.
Right. I mean, you mentioned the 3-point figure 24% from three. The Pacers shot 53%.
Yeah.
And the Pacers actually shot 2 threes less. So similar volume, nearly double the percentage, 10 more threes made. That's obviously 30 points, and they lost by 9. So I think a lot of Cavs fans took solace in that and just like, look, we shot like crap, and they came in and stole one. It happens. But I mean, certainly encouraging if you're a Pacers fan. Nonetheless, I don't think any Cavs fan is sweating the series now. In game two is currently going on as we record. Um,
Can we talk about this? What is this NBA playoff
I've stopped
scheduling?
trying. I've stopped trying.
Because I'm pretty sure, if you remember or know, correct me, but I'm pretty sure the Caps Pacers played before Game 7.
Yeah, it was the same day, but it was earlier.
It was earlier.
Yep, they played the same day
Same day
as
as
Nuggets,
Nuggets,
Rock. Or excuse me, no, it was the
Rockets,
Rockets
Warriors.
Warriors. They said the same
Like,
day as the Rockers Warriors game 7.
we have a series that will have played 2 games before one even tipped off.
Yeah, correct.
Make that make sense.
I can't. I don't. And then like the way they did it, and the lack of rest for some of these seven, like it literally feels like the NBA is like, yo, thanks for the 7-game series. We appreciate that revenue from that. Go get slaughtered.
Yeah.
like it seemed like that's what they were setting up. Obviously, one of the games didn't really go that way, but it seems like the late game tonight. I mean, it's just brutal, man.
Yeah.
Like the yeah, because that's the Timberwolves and the Nuggets, right? I mean,
Timberwolves and Warriors
or excuse
play
me,
tonight.
yeah, and the Warriors. Um, just brutal, just brutal. But I stopped trying to figure out the schedule. I look at who's playing, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I stopped trying to figure it out. But yeah, real impressive win from the Pacers in game 1. I mentioned game 2 is going on now. Again, before the Timberwolves and the Warriors tip off. Cleveland currently has a 7-point lead. 2 minutes left in the first quarter, so we will update you as that
High scoring
goes
affair.
along. High scoring affair. First quarter is almost over, and the Pacers have 13 points. Now an 8-point lead. The Cavs have 21. So yeah, defensive struggle over in Cleveland in game 2. Obviously, we do need to mention the Darius Garland injury.
Yeah.
Maybe that is a reason for some stress. He's not playing in game 2.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what the prognosis is. I don't know. Have you seen
Yeah, I haven't seen what it was, but obviously it's something serious since he's not playing in the playoffs, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, all be we are poor podcasters.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
Because look, the Cavs are kind of dealing with a lot of injuries right now that we failed to mention. Evan Mobley's not playing this game as well.
DeAndre Hunter.
And DeAndre Hunter not playing this game. So
that's tough, bro.
That is tough.
We'll win.
We will wear that. But it looks like Mobley and Hunter had a chance to play.
Yeah, so Garland is nursing a toe injury. Hunter sprained a thumb, and Mobley sprained an ankle. So it seems Hunter and Mobley will be back for game 3, but it's still kind of up in the air for Garland, it seems like.
Yeah, so this actually would be a pretty big win for the Cavs down, 3 starters.
Yeah.
Um, to come back, come out and even this series for sure. Gotta look to Donovan Mitchell to really pick things up in this one. But yeah, with game 2 currently going on, Cavs looking to even the series. And then yesterday on Monday night, we had 2 game 1s tip off. It was an awesome slate of basketball. One of us was very happy, one of us not so much.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so the early game. Should we start there unless you had something to say?
Let's go. Let's go for it.
Okay, early game, Knicks Celtics. First off, a matchup that is so awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
Boston, New York, second round of the playoffs. What could be better than that? The Knicks kind of struggled with Detroit. Boston obviously took care of Orlando, no problem. The Knicks walk into Boston, erase the 20-point deficit in the third quarter, win this game in overtime, 108-105.
Yeah, actually, I'll kick it to you. Kick it off for us, Tanner.
Yeah, the headline to me in this one, one player. Really, obviously, he ended up with the same amount of points as Jalen Brunson, the star. Obviously, the game will flow through Jalen Brunson whenever you play the Knicks. Sam, without this guy, the Knicks lose by 40.
Yeah.
And that's OG Anunoby. He was magnificent in this game, Sam. Ended with 29, 50% from the field, 6 for 11 from 3, so over 50% from 3. He was so good. Played 45. Yeah, what is it?
50,
so 53 minutes.
Yeah, because Mikhail played 51.
Yeah.
So
so played 45 minutes. Obviously, is going to be the primary defender on Tatum, who, by the way, I think he was held to 4 points in the fourth quarter in overtime.
Yeah.
Ended with 23, which if you're playing Jason Tatum, I will take 23 points every single day of the week. So OG Anunoby was the standout player for me for the New York Knicks. And you can't say enough about him. Obviously, Brunson kind of took over in that fourth quarter, had multiple big shots, back-to-back threes in a time where the game was a little back and forth after the Knicks had erased that deficit. And there's one more player I want to highlight because, Sam, he was absolutely brutal in this game until the Knicks absolutely had to have it, and that was Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, if you look at stat line, not great.
Yeah, you will look at that stat line and be like, what on earth are you talking about? In the fourth quarter and in overtime, really. He had a clutch 3. I believe the Knicks were up 2, and he had a corner 3 that he actually banked in, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
I did not catch that in when I first watched it, but he actually banked that in. And then, obviously when you think of Mikal Bridges, defense is going to be one of the top things you think of. And he got the big steal on Jaylen Brown when the Celtics on the last possession were down 3, stole it off a inbounds pass. He was so good in overtime and so bad the rest of the game. And that's important, man, because, he had been kind of underwhelming for a majority of the season. And to be able to have such a bad start to the game and then really lock in and play, the last 5 minutes playing really good basketball and, really was the reason, one of the reasons why the Knicks won, were able to close it out down the stretch is really important. But I tell you what, Sam, you look at the stats, Boston was absolutely horrible from 3. Similar to Cleveland, they shot 25%. It's Boston, so the volume's going to be there. They shot 63s. And shot 25%. So you absolutely had to have this one on the road when Boston shot as poorly as they did. Obviously, the 20-point deficit off the rip, it puts an interesting perspective on things. But once you erase that, you absolutely 100% needed to have it.
Yeah.
If they lost this game, I think the Celtics would have swept. But now you have life. You stole it. Obviously, if you steal game two, now you're really cooking with gas. It's a tough ask. Boston obviously is really good, but you did what you needed to do. You won game one on the road.
Yeah, this is huge. Yeah, if you're a Knicks fan, you gotta be ecstatic with what the Celtics big two did. 23 points for Tatum, 7 for 23 shooting. Jaylen Brown 7 for 20, 1 for 10 from three, scoring 23 points. It was kind of a Thibodeau masterclass. To be honest with you, Tanner, very physical defense and playing your starters over 40 plus minutes. Um, and kind of a guy that has stepped up big in the previous round against the Pistons. Cat uh, finished with just 14 points. He didn't have his best game, but that didn't matter. You had Jalen Brunson. One thing I think was very interesting, down three, everyone claims Jason Tatum is best player. How do you not give him the ball?
They went to Brown.
Absurd.
They went to Brown. It
absolutely
is
crazy.
And by the way, Jaylen Brown, who was 1 for 10 from three, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know if I didn't see much going on as maybe you inbound to him and you run Tatum off a screen. I didn't see much like motion going on the other side of the floor. But obviously Bridges was able to, and it seemed like he was trying to catch and gather and was trying to get ready for some sort of shot when he stole it. But as you mentioned, I mean, the two stars for Boston, a combined 14 for 43 from the field and 5 for 25 from three. When you do that and you were able, like, obviously, like I said, in that third quarter, felt like Boston was going to run away with it, and that was okay. Now, a lot of that shooting woes from Boston came as New York was making their comeback. Once you made that comeback with the way these guys were shooting, you just had to have it, and damn it, they did it.
Yeah.
And it felt damn good to just be like, because every fan knew it's like they just have to have this game. And they did. And it absolutely rocked. Obviously, Porzingis, I think he only played how many minutes did he play? He only played 12 minutes in this game, battling an injury because his name is Kristaps Porzingis. Of course he is. I think he's questionable for the rest of the series, or at least for game two. I don't know how that's going to go. But yeah, it's you just bought yourself so much leeway now, winning game one. And game two is literally almost like house money, you know?
Like,
you win that, you're in a great spot. You lose it, which, to be honest, they're going to be 10-point underdogs. You lose it, you're okay because you stole home court advantage. So I can't say enough about this win, man. And it's got me fired up for the series. When I got to be honest, going into the series, I was kind of dreading it, being like, I don't.
Yeah.
And the betting odds reflected that, and damn it, did we come out and prove them wrong? So I'm real excited about the rest of the series.
Yeah, how can you not be, man?
No doubt. But the nightcap, just as good in terms of quality of basketball and the intensity of the game. The Nuggets were able to march in to Oklahoma City, take this one 121-119 on a game-winning shot from Aaron Gordon from three after a Chet missed free throw.
Two Chet missed free throws. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows the story of the Thunder at home, one of the toughest places to play, if not the toughest place. They finished their record at home is 35-6 on the season. To escape with a win was very impressive. I think really, Tanner, like, you gotta stay out of foul trouble. Chet and Hartenstein, Jokic's two main defenders, had 5 fouls each, so it's not like they could even rotate them for most of the fourth quarter and down the stretch. But
and not even in that, obviously they didn't foul out, but everyone knows, like, everyone who's played basketball knows, when you play defense with 2 fouls and you play defense with 4 fouls, you are playing drastically different defense. And so you just can't be as aggressive on obviously one of, if not the best player in the NBA. And he ends with 42 and 22.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, Tanner, I thought we defended him extremely well for what the circumstances were. But he's just so damn good. Finds the open players, literally does everything to perfection. And it seems like he's not even trying. Shea Gilgis was as good as you could ask for 12 for 26, 33 points. Um, this guy gets that third scoring option. We didn't really have anything. Luke Dort, I mean, finished with 14. I'll take that. But Jalen Williams kind of struggled. Actually, not kind of. He did struggle. 5 for 20, 2 for 9. Finished with 16 points. He's kind of a big part of our offense, and he just wasn't there tonight. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked, man. And of course, but to be honest with you, Tanner, if Aaron Gordon's taking a game-winning three,
Sign up for it.
I'm signing up for it 9 times out of 10. It was a good closeout. But yeah, this one stung, man. Tough to lose one at home when you know that it's really freaking hard to beat the Thunder at home, and the Nuggets with the best player in the NBA does it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Looking on the Thunder side of things, tough game for Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
Tough game. Shot 5 for 20 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3. Tough,
Yeah.
tough stuff. How are we feeling? Are we
You know,
State of the Union address?
yeah, we lost game one. I think we will bounce back in game two. I don't think Jalen Williams is going to perform like that. I think Dejan Nault's going to have Hartenstein and Holmgren have a better defensive plan for Jokic. They kind of took away his playmaking ability, which was, I guess, like you might as well have one guy beat you than four. But Jamal Murray started hitting shots. Christian Brown. I mean, the Aaron Gordon was the shocker of the day, obviously, and yeah, it's just need better play from Shet and Hartenstein, both defensive and offense. Jalen Williams, I think, will bounce back though. Shea, just keep doing what you're doing, and it'll be interesting. I don't know who the primary defender for Jamal was in this one, but I'd assume if it wasn't already, I think Dort would probably switch on him. He's by far our best defender. But yeah, there's a lot of concerns, but very fixable concerns.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, we're the panic buttons in the other room. We're not, it happens, like you said. The Nuggets also won a national. They won a championship.
Yeah,
2-3 years ago. Like, this is a really good team. I just think, yeah, like you said, just better play inside. Even if you don't hold Jokic to a bad game, just lean on him. Instead of 42 and 22, make that a 35 and 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're fine. And Aaron Gordon will not shoot like that. Mm-hmm. Shoot 50% from three, it seems like, and add 22 every game. So
yeah. One thing I am worried about is Michael Porter played like ass this game.
He did.
And they still won, which has me a little concerned, but not too big of a concern. I think we do match up pretty well with this team. Obviously, we got Nikola Jokic on the other side. He creates mismatches across the floor. So,
yeah. And the other thing to note with this Nuggets team is that they are not deep at all. So 4 of their 5 starters were plus. We're on the positive, on the plus minus. Obviously, the one Michael Porter Jr. he was minus 15.
Yeah.
Everyone else was plus. Westbrook, their sixth man off the bench, he was +4. But the other two to get minutes, Peyton Watson and Julian Strother were a combined -32.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get those guys in, and it feels like that could be an opportunity to take advantage for the Thunder because the
Yeah.
Thunder have the depth advantage without question.
Oh yeah. And shout out Caruso. He stepped up with Jalen Williams kind of struggling in this one, finished with 20 points. We all know he kind of filled that 3-and-D role that Jalen Williams was kind of lacking, but obviously it wasn't quite enough. But shout out Caruso.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Game twos in these series will both be on Wednesday. So by the time you're hearing this, we will have a result for game two. So it'll be interesting to see if the home teams and the favorites are able to
Yeah.
even them up. Both of them are. No, the Thunder are 11-point favorites. The Celtics are 10.5. So the books are thinking the series will
Yeah.
even out. The game currently going on, Cleveland has quickly broken this open. They currently have a 17-point lead, about halfway, little over halfway, more like 3/4 of the way through the second quarter.
Yeah.
So looks like Cleveland might be able to tie this up as well. But a lot of basketball left, so there is more to play there. But you got any final thoughts, Sam, about how about the playoffs and how things are shaping up?
You know, we've kind of mentioned it on the past couple episodes that this is the greatest NBA playoffs. Last night was the greatest
Last night
so
rocked.
far.
Yeah.
And my team lost. But it was so awesome. It was, I mean, we aren't the biggest NBA guys. But I was glued to the TV for both of those. It was must watch basketball. And I expect these series to just get better and better.
Yeah, I mean, for you YouTube watchers, I dusted off this hat. I don't think I've worn it really all season.
Yeah.
The old Knicks hat, where it seems like we're getting back hype for this train, and I will say, historically, when I start to really lock in and care about things, it does not go well. But you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Absolutely.
But that is going to wrap it up for episode 168 of Crunch Time. Obviously, heavy on the NBA playoffs. Big implications for us, for the podcast, with both of our teams playing in our conference semifinals and played awesome games last night. But of course, before that, talked about some stuff going on in the MLB. Michigan, of course, seeming to self-impose their way out of another suspension for cheating. Hopefully the NCAA can crack down on that. But make sure to follow the podcast on X, Instagram, and TikTok at crunchtime_pod. Make sure to check the YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe there. Crunch Time with the N326 duo. But the clock has run out on this episode, and we'll see you in the next one on Crunch Time.
Yer.